Holy snapping duck shit.
My good mate from Bump and Run Booker joins us.
I'm excited for another great show tonight. Give it the hoot nanny.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Trackside with Kokpit, brought to you by GARAGE16. Back for the first show on the 1st of the 1st of 2025. Happy New Year's to you. My good friend Booker is looking rather warm and hot and bothered out in the beautiful, as always, sunny Hawke's Bay. Hey mate, Happy New Year's to you.
Oh, not too bad, man. I mean, it's not as sunny as it normally has. I mean, the whole country has had a bit of a bad run of the weather, isn't it, really? And now it's affected the GP and, mate, and over Christmas and the build-up and New Year's, and it's just not played ball. Let's hope it gets it out of its system before the big meetings start, though, Kins, you know? Although we went to Bay Park on the 28th and, oh, she was hot there, boy.
Yeah, hot on the track, but also hot and around the Mount Maunganui area, but the ocean. By the commotion, or what did they call it, Bay Park, and where it all is and everything like that. And yeah, we had a wonderful time, mate. Yeah, there's a few things that have been upset with the weather pattern. A few little concerts have been hampered and people have lost tens of thousands of dollars. Rhythm and Vines was another mud bath for the second year running, I would guess. But like you said, you alluded to the announcement from Woodford Glen. It is now a one-day show for the New Zealand Superstock Grand Prix down in Christchurch this Thursday. Sounds something similar to that you and I were at Miani about 12 months ago, mate.
Yeah.
It was a one-day show, eh?
Yeah, that was a bit different there, but yeah, you're right. It's this weather. I mean, I don't know what it is at the moment, but hey, look, it can only be what it can be at the end of the day. And I think the great thing is that Woodford Glen have sat down, looked at the forecast, looked at everything that's involved, looked at everything and gone, okay, we can sacrifice and we can save or do something here. And they've made a call nice and early for the drivers and competitors. Yes, they've lost a few, but that was always going to happen, you know. But like we've talked about before, Kins, the decision making and how many factors come into making this decision to make this work still for the competitors, for the spectators, for everybody. I think it's great how they've done the job and they've made the call, and this is what it's going to be. I was talking with Peter Easter, and he says he respects Woodford Glen so much for making the call and making the decision early and letting all the competitors know, you know, instead of waiting till that last minute to sort of change things up, which is what we want. And it's not easy for them, is it, mate? You know, like, shit. It's just such a big event for them down there for that, you know, and a lot of people already booked their boats and booked the accommodation down there to do both events and stuff, you know, and there's so much loss of money for people, you know.
Yeah. You know, when you look at something like, for an example, you're going to your Christmas with your families, kids have just finished school, you're kind of getting your business or yourself into their frame of mind to spend some family time. For those, Speedway may come first in that regard, but when you plan your schedule for your upcoming season, some of these meetings are on the calendar for you, on your race calendar, but in that second part of it, you got to clock up the weather impact on it as well. That comes at a cost too, a massive cost, like you alluded to. And this particular event now, obviously, it's just going to be the one night on Thursday, which is tomorrow night. There will be the live stream for the one night as well. But yeah, numbers will naturally dwindle. I do know that some of the ferries were cancelled as well with the rough seas. And how much is this going to be a factor come next weekend? You got the big one down there in Nelson. But mate, I got a bit of something I want to show you.
You're that's from the bloody Daybreaker last year. What are you doing with that up there?
Man,
Someone
mate.
gave me here. You're a cock. I was about to say some nice stuff about you, but I think I've changed my freaking mind now. You cheeky bugger. Oh, man.
That's a good bloody photo.
I was going to say to people, you know, I hope their year finished well for everybody, you know, and And now it's a new year, a new start for everybody. Let's all look forward. Let's have some fun. Let's be positive. You know, we're still talking about the anti-bullying. Let's get that going this year. Let's be positive about things. But, mate, I ended my year, I think, a couple of days earlier than New Year's, which was Saturday last week. And to me, it ended fantastic. I got to go to Bay Park Speedway, and Marco and Melissa are just fantastic. Marco just looked after us like you wouldn't believe. Treated us like bloody royalty. I didn't know I was getting put on the big screen, though, unfortunately. I didn't know that was happening. But, mate, I got to sit there, watch some fantastic racing, listen to my mate here commentate the super stocks, and the roar of those super stocks that echo through that place when they go at the start. When you were commentating for the super stocks, I had Marco come out and sit beside me. Of course, he doesn't normally hear it because he's inside the booth. And he just lost, what the, whoa! And it was just epic. It was so good to see. It was like seeing a guy that's been around so long, to see a reaction like that. It really makes you realise just how powerful Speedway is, you know, to give that reaction, mate. And, mate, it was just such an awesome weekend. And for you, to hear you as well commentating in there was awesome to see you do it at Bay Park. And we're talking before, you know, you're saying how good it is in there and their corporate area and everything that was there. But, mate, and another thing for me is Gizzy crashed, and we got the photo of sitting in the infield there, but he was still okay and everything, but he still stayed right to the end till the last person got their autograph after the meeting. And to me, that's a sign of a real superstar. Someone that hangs around for the fans like that is awesome, mate. But yeah, Bay Park, how can you not love it? It was just such a great event, wasn't it? And the Hockey Memorial, awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, you're right. Hold on, Box.
Another shout out to Kinser and Booker, if you can hear us from Kokpit Media. There you can see me. I can see you. Come up to the commentary box. Tell security you're coming up to commentary. Come up.
Marco said so.
Yeah, don't sit there waving. Come up, my friend. Come have a chat.
That was Marco seeing me in the stands, and then they put me on the big screen, the cheeky buggers. It was, it was a bit of humour, but what a great night, mate. What a great night to finish, you know, the Hockey Memorial again. That's our second year, mate. Your thoughts on that? I just think it's such a great event, and the drivers that support it and turn up, and the hard racing, and you know, and just incredible.
You nailed it there. I think it was more than just the racing on the track. The roar of the engines was next level. It's one of the loudest I've ever been to in a stadium. To hear it when we sat on the close side to where the commentary box was, but it was bigger than actually the racing. What it was for me was the respect that all of those superstock drivers and their families came out to race for Horse, for Ross Ashby, for Galen, and also for their husband and father, the late Hokie Ashby. I think that's the biggest thing I can take away from the superstocks. I didn't care about the results. I didn't care about what actually happened on the track in that class particular. It was all about the respect that they gave. And we interviewed them in the pits earlier. That's what I take away from that, is the respect and the mana they had for a guy that was always next to his son, supporting him through his street stocks time, through his A-grade stock car racing, and then in the super stocks. I think that's the biggest thing I take. The other biggest thing I take from it is just the amazing skills midgets and sprint car drivers have. To see that race in front of you, and I'll put this in perspective like Brad Mosen and Buddy Koifoid. Those two are going toe-to-toe in amongst back traffic, and it's only millimeters before disaster would happen. You know, it's no difference to Gizzy going around the outside. He had that. But the young guy, young Ayrton in the 28, couldn't see him. Obviously, you can't. You don't have mirrors. Had to move across, and that's when the incident happened. But you're right, someone like Jonathan Allard. He just blew me away in the sprint car, you know, and passing the back markers. The skills in midget driving and sprint car action was definitely on show on Saturday night. And to be there to witness that, bro, it was just unreal.
Look,
that skill level's next level.
People have got to get there and watch those things in action there, and Western Springs obviously being the last year, but mate, it was just wow. It still blows my mind, the whole meeting. And you know, the thing was, Kins, at the end of the meeting, we're walking out of there and you're just happy. you're walking out thinking to yourself, I just saw something great tonight. I saw a great meeting, great fun. I talked to some great people there. We caught up with all the Huntley people as well that was there. We caught up with so many people that come and said hi to us. The whole thing was just fantastic, you know, and it's really good when you can go to an event like that and you walk away at the end of the night and you think to yourself, well, it couldn't have got any, that was it. The night hit its pinnacle point. It couldn't have got better. Perfect night. Let's go home. We're all happy. And I think that's what Bay Park produced for us that night. It was just, I think Melissa and the team put on a fantastic show. Absolutely. So people out there, if you get a chance to go there and watch midgets and sprint cars, you've got to do it. I mean, it'll blow your mind.
No, the school factor alone was thing. But for me, I think the overall icing on the cake was to get that chance to commentate at Bay Park. For many people who don't know where it all started for me, my career in Speedway started at the old Bay Park, you know, back in the 80s. And to get that opportunity in Marco and listen to ask us when we had them on the show and said, you want to come and commentate the superstars, because that's not their forte in some sense. So I said, yeah, I'll do it. And just to have that opportunity and have you there, mate, and my family there. Yeah, she was brilliant. It was well worth it.
Yep.
I'll pay my $38 again. And
well, that's it too. You know what was the easiest part of it? I went up there with Murray Goodley. Thank you to him and his family. They took me up there. We went up there in the car. We've done a few trips with Murray this year with me and his Subaru, his rocket ship. And we've done some miles, man. Like we went to Wellington and back, and we went to this and back. We've done a few meetings. But he showed me. He goes, we were out at his family in Tauranga, and he goes, this is easy. Let's just go online and buy our tickets. So we bought our tickets, and it's cheaper to buy your ticket online. Then you just go up to the gate with your phone, scan it, you walk in. I mean, prepaying tickets like that at Tracks. I think Miani's doing the same thing this year too. Just such an easy thing.
Yeah. Hey, quickly we'll go through some of these comments because we better bring in the bro Ants back in for the first time of 25.
Sorry, kids. I just want to quickly say our thoughts out to Gav Taniwha and his family with the passing of his mum. So yeah, thoughts of you, Gav.
Yeah, definitely. Barry Hunter, Sean Cooper, Happy New Year's to you. Kerry Russ, the Bump and Run, Happy New Year's. Kerry Gates, Steve Palmer, likewise Cody. Muddy's watching, Scott Honeybone, Happy New Year's. A lot of Happy New Year's. Ellie J. O'Brien, Jason Coley, Kerry Remnant. Good to catch a Kerry in the pits there. Happy New Year's. CJ's watching as well. What have we got there? Bay Park Boys run some good laps. Yeah, it's good to see the super stocks out there. Andrea Waterman's on watching. Dave Thomas, he's up at Waikaraka Park watching some racing, and Gizzy's up there racing a sprint car. He raced last night back at Bay Park, won the first heat. Casey Cheatham, Wayne Brunton, how are you? Big night at Miani, actually, Booker. 60th anniversary meeting. Yeah, it's going to be massive.
North Island Saloons at Palmy. There's some good meetings on this weekend. Yeah, that's a big thing too. That 60 years at Miani, mate. It's it's cool.
There you go. So what do we got? Auckland and Cromwell's on tonight. Obviously, Woodford Glen and the Springs tomorrow. Miani on the Friday, as you see. You got the Springs, Stratford. Wanganui's got the mini sprint North Islands, like you said, the North Island Super Saloons at Palmy, and then Speedway office will open up back on Monday. Bring in Ammaron.
There he is. Happy New the only Ammz.
Have you seen any fans?
Happy New Year's, boys, and of course, Happy New Year's to all our fans out there. I trust that it may bring you peace, happiness, and many success in 2025.
Wicked, bro. Wicked. Mate, how was the whānau Christmas and New Year's for you?
It was good, apart from I might have eaten too much food, but hey, I'm sure we can all agree that it was probably the perfect time to eat a lot of kai for myself. I probably may not look it, but I felt like I'd gained 10 kg, but I have been running the last couple of days to try and burn all that food off. So it's been good. It's awesome to spend time with family. I think that's probably the best thing about Christmas is bringing all the whānau together, enjoying everybody's company, having a lot of fun, laughter, but also remembering those that have passed on beyond us. So it's about reflection as well, and remembering those. So yeah, but hey, as always, it's all about family and the fun for sure.
Yeah, definitely, mate. You had a little bit of a break, a little small break there to have a bit of a sleep in on a Sunday because most Sundays you're up at the crack of dawn preparing everything that you do for the Only Ammz page around all the points and everything like that. Would have enjoyed last Sunday having a bit of a late sleeping, I would guess, mate.
I did actually, yeah. I think there was week 9 of competition, and believe there was only 2 tracks running that weekend, and the only one that was probably related in terms of the Speedway Awards was probably the one at Whanganui, which was obviously they cancelled, which was this Fan 45 superstock deal. That would have been cool to have actually seen that event go ahead, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. But yeah, once that had been cancelled, I had nothing else to do with Speedway whatsoever for that weekend. So yes, I did enjoy my sleeping until this morning, where I woke up at probably 4 o'clock this morning to get up to do all the points updates ready for this evening. Yep.
All right, bro. Let's crack into it for the first time. Bringing you, obviously, the Only Ammz update every Wednesday. Ammz will join us until we do the big event, which is actually going to be live in person, as I see on the Facebook page and everything. We're going to be there, I think, June, July from memory, something like that. And
Yeah, we've got to
mate,
work out the logistics yet on that one, don't we, Ammz? But we'll make it happen.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
talking
right.
of
Yep.
only Ammz, I've got a message back from Renee. She's going to make a guest appearance, the one and only Renee Gracie. So I look forward to that.
Yeah, she will be our
Yes.
VIP guest.
Yeah, she'll be our VIP just for the guys and girls that rock on. That Renee's going to be doing there and handing out all of the beautiful accolades. She'll be there to do it in person. Hey, good on you, Renee. Thank you for your support.
Yeah, right. So you're going to get us in so much trouble.
I might make a video with her afterwards. Anyway, bro, let's get into it. Okay. Carry on, bro.
All jokes and laughs aside, Whānau, we've arrived at the completion of week 9 and 10 of competition for the Only Ammz Speedway Awards of Excellence. And during that Christmas period of racing, we saw a full plethora of racing of classes, of whether it's down south or up north or wherever you may be around Aotearoa, New Zealand. There was something for everyone, and pleased to say that all participating classes for the Only Ammz Speedway Awards of Excellence did get a run over the Christmas break period. We will begin our segment as usual with the Alan Wakeling medalist for Sprint Car Racing Excellence, and well, this driver still leading at the top there. He's stretched forth his lead ever so slightly. Jonathan Allard, the American driver from Chico, California, your leader still at the top there, stretch forthing his points to 90, ahead of his countryman compatriot there, the 1NZ of Joel Myers Jr., back 30 points on 60. And well, for everybody else, it's a fight amongst the minor placings there. Ryan O'Connor on 53, Keaton Darm on 51, alongside Max Guilford, I might add, who had a great last couple of days down in the deep south at Cromwell. As you can see there, he's registered under the 46C, just campaigning the car there for the Anderson Racing team. Also there on 51, the Daniel Thomas there on 50, Dean Cooper, the 2NZ driver there on 48, Michael Pickens, who had a feature win at Western Springs on Boxing Day, up there on 46, Rodney Wood on 44, and completing the top 10 is James Darm, the Tokoroa driver there on 37 points. We now move on to the Peter Rees medalist for Stock Car Racing Excellence. And of course, after the New Zealand Stock Car Grand Prix held at Palmerston North last weekend, we have a new leader at the top. It is your current New Zealand champion, 1NZ, Kyle Rose, the eventual winner at the Grand Prix. And he leads, well, surpassing the eventual leader, which was Daniel Henderson, 57 points for Kyle Rose. Dion Henderson, I might add, sorry, there on 55, alongside Taylor Lamp, the Palmerston North driver there. 88C is Troy Cleveland there on 43, doing it for the Mainlanders. Gary Lonergan there on 41. Jack Rarity from Nelson there on 39. Sam Wright, the Auckland driver there on 36. Mitchell Lockett, the Whanganui driver, who has been the surprise package so far this season, still there on 36. Casey McEwen doing it for the Deep South, there on 35, and Logan Pete completing the top 10 on 37 points. Your top 10 for the Peter Rees medalist for stock car racing excellence. We now move on to the Tony Cardwell medalist for Super Saloon Racing Excellence. And well, as the racing showed at Bay Park the other night, probably a less than desirable night for the race, the eventual leader, and that is Sam Waddell. He's still leading there on 64 points. And yes, as I just mentioned, probably a less than desirable race result for him from Bay Park the other night. But hey, when you've got a points lead of 64, who cares? Craig Cardwell there on second there on 39. Steve Cowling there in third place on 38. Couple of points back to the Miani flyer there. There's Grant Flynn on 36, alongside another Miani flyer. That is Thomas Stanaway. 36 points apiece for those two. Jason Long there on 34. Chris Cowling, the New Zealand champion, there on 33. Kevin Martin back into the top 10 at 26. Sean Wade, the Kihi refugee, there on 23. And finishing the top 10 there for the Tony Cardwell medalist for Super Saloon Racing Excellence, Steve Walling, completing it there on 21 points. We now move on to the Roger Bertram medalist for Modified Racing Excellence, brought to you by Pocono Auto Centre. I cannot stress enough, whānau, if you need anything mechanical done to your car, it is not a question, it is a fact. By all means, go and see Brett and the team at Pocono Auto Centre at 62 Great South Road there. Pop in and see the team. Drop your car off. You know, the next best thing is popping down the road to get an ice cream. So make sure you leave the car there, pop down the road, get an ice cream. But they'll have.
I'd rather get the bacon.
Yeah, you can grab the bacon as well, bring the bacon home. But yes, next best thing, pop down the road, grab an ice cream. By the time you're eating the ice cream, all the work on your car will be done. So please head on down and see the team at Pocono Auto Centre. Your top 10 for the Roger Bertram Modified medalist for, the Roger Bertram medalist for Modified Racing Excellence. Brad Lane, you're current leader there on 62 points. Had a perfect scorecard there at Waikaraka Park the other night. Cody Hutter up to second place there ahead of Foxy on 46. Foxy back on 45, ahead of Newton Gorge on 44. Jacob Mitchell there on 35 points. Reuben Brown, the Greymouth driver there on 31. Andrew Naven on 28 points alongside Daniel Crump, also on 28. PJ Ferguson on 25, and the Huntley driver of Barry Hunter in 53H there, completing the top 10 on 23 points. That is the Roger Bertram medalist for Modified Racing Excellence, brought to you by Pocono Auto Centre. Our last category is the Shane Penn medalist for Superstock Racing Excellence, and this category as well has seen a change at the top, leapfrogging from the bottom of the 10 all the way to the top, the 77M of Luke All the Dice. He is the current leader on 54 points, ahead of Kerry Remnant on 48, alongside Todd Hemingway, who's also on 48. And I must say that 77 and 99, I'm sure you two will probably back me up on this one, they have been absolutely flying the last couple of weeks there. Not too sure what Mark Dickey has done to those cars, but they have been consistent week in and week out. Harley Robb there on 47 points, and probably my pick to win the Grand Prix tomorrow night at Woodford Glen. Brett Nichols there as well, representing Nelson there on 45. Quinn Ryan there on 41. Kyle Ashton on 40 points. Jordan Baldwin doing it for the City of Sales there in 39 points. Brad Ollenberg on 38 alongside Jay Huggies Holtham, and that is your top 10 for the Shane Penn medalist for Superstock Racing Excellence.
I think, I just interrupt you, I think that could have been a little bit different at Bay Park if I think Kerry had some bad luck, because he was on it in that first race. And I haven't heard what actually happened or if he's okay. I hope he's okay. But yeah, he went off the end, and I think something broke. Someone said to me steering broke or something like that broke. And so that was him out for the night because it was a big hit. And I think the pace he was showing at Bay Park, Ammz, I think that might have kept him on that top step, to be fair. Yeah. So, you know, we talk about those two boys, Hemingway and that, coming up strong lately, which they are. But Kerry's also shown some very good pace in that new Rees chassis he's running this year. So it'll be interesting as the season progresses, mate, you know?
Oh, well, without doubt. And
Todd
Kerry's
won
probably
the
watching
Hogan.
as well.
Yeah, he is watching. Todd won the actual Hoki Ashby Memorial as well. I think it was Luke Alderdice might have been second, and from memory, Ryan might have been Ryan Hunt in third, and then Elias Dykstra. So I think for the Busters in the top four from memory. Just from memory on Saturday night. But yeah, no, those two boys, you're right, M Books, being on fire. But you reckon Harley Rob will take the GP down at his home track? You reckon, mate, tomorrow night?
I think he's been on fire, and I could probably add in Jay Huggies Holtham alongside him as well. They've both been trading wins or seconds and thirds ever since the start of the season here in Christchurch. Those are probably the two locals who will probably could possibly do the job tomorrow night. But hey, that's in speedway racing, anything can happen, you know.
Yeah.
So
and there's a lot of luck involved in those big events too, Amz, you know. But I'm predicting myself that I think the GP and the New Zealand's will be won by South Islanders. Because you see it all the time down there. They are so track code hard, it's ridiculous in the South Island in comparison to the North Island. That's, you know, and they're not going to let a North Islander come to their track. The New Zealanders, that time Jason Long won it, I was surprised that he got there, you know, like at Christchurch with the NZs. But yeah, I don't think they're going to let Asher get away with anything this year, to be fair. I think watch this space, people. South Islanders are pretty brutal.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I talked to Harley Robb at a practice at Woodford Glen earlier in the season, and we'd talked about the upcoming championship at Nelson and what was the prospects that would look like for Christchurch. And no, we were talking in Christchurch sporting at least 20 plus super stocks this season, which is probably the biggest on record for registered drivers at their track. You know, and then obviously you've got the top class drivers, as I just mentioned, Harley Robb, Jay Huggies Holtham, Malcolm Ngatai as well. So yeah, I'm quietly confident that the Christchurch boys could probably bring it home tomorrow, and I'd say they'll probably have a good showing at the New Zealand Championship as well. But you know, it's a funny track they have down here, Woodford Glen. You got one big corner, one small corner, and the only guys who know it best are the local drivers. So it's home to the hills for these guys, and I'm putting my backing behind these guys 100%. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the racing tomorrow night for sure.
So you're going Harley Robb, Books? You got anyone you're going to pick tomorrow night for the GP?
Well, I think. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Harley Robb. I think the three I'm thinking for the South Island, especially for Christchurch at home, you probably can't go past Harley Robb, Huggies, and that James Thane. I don't know how he's been going this season, but he drove well at teams, and I mean, at the end of the day, what's the old saying? To finish first you must finish. And if these guys are consistent, and then I believe when it comes to that third heat, they'll band together, mate. There'll be, you know, it's going to happen. You know, you've got so many, and that Braden Lennon down there, he's fast too, isn't he? And then you got the West boys. I mean, Christchurch got such a pick, haven't they? You know, it's hard to say and pick one name who you think's going to win it. But yeah, I don't know. And I mean, some of the North Island guys actually do go well at that track, but like I said, I believe they're not going to be allowed to get in. If they're on points in that final heat, I think they're going to get taken.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you might want to throw in Scott Tennant's name in there as well.
Well, Scotty, yeah, of course, good. Scotty. I forgot about him. Yeah. I mean, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he's not on the podium, he'll certainly probably decide who's going to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It will be interesting.
You keep forgetting about Scotty in the South Island, Kinser. I keep forgetting about it.
Yeah, that's who I was going to pick, but I'm going to throw this a wild card one out there. I'm going to go Ethan Rees.
Well, the other thing to remember is that I think both Asher, well, I know Pete definitely, Peter Rees needs the GP to complete the Grand Slam.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would think if he's up on points that his boys will try and help him get there. But Ethan, I really would like to see Ethan take out an NZ title, Kins, to be fair. What about you, Amz? I think he's a good guy. He's not an arsehole. He drives well. I watched some in-car footage of him the other day, and the patience he shows. just really blew my mind, you know. I'd love to see Ethan on that podium, on the top step. Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt. And I mean, yeah, you're right. Having watched his in cars as well, he's such a drives with such calmness, and you can see it in the way how he got the steering wheel going. It's never really do you see it swaying going through the corner. They keep it mostly in one position, and that comes down to their skills and probably a combination of the chassis and stuff that they build. They've built it to obviously try and make it easier for themselves to race. But yeah, I mean that's a great pick. And one thing we do know for sure is that whoever wins after tomorrow night will be a well-deserved winner for sure. Because
Yes.
as we know, the mating has been condensed into this one night. So you know,
Yeah.
there's no the 2-night thing goes right out the window. You've only got one chance, man. One chance to get it all right. There's a winner-take-all final. But you know, as we all always know with stock car racing, anything can happen. So
Yeah. Hard.
Do we know the format for tomorrow night, Amz? Do you know the format for it? Is it over 3 races, or are they doing qualifying then a 1 race final?
Yeah, so they will have qualifying. Unfortunately, the entry list is too great for it to be just a 3 heat format system. I believe that they will have a couple of groups, and then they'll have a couple of heats qualifying, and then I think the top so-and-so from those groups will contest the 1 race winner takes all final at the end of the meeting. So, but yeah, as I just mentioned before, whoever comes out on top after that will be a well-deserved driver, because that is going to be a long meeting, you know, because everything is condensed. So you've got the qualifying and the finals all jam-packed into one. I believe they're having repecharge races as well. So if a driver misses out and they end up going through the repecharge, that's an extra race, you know. So it's just going to be a massive night. So I'm looking forward to it. I believe we're here in what we call it. This is the championship window of the season. You know, from here, January onwards, now we're here in the championship season. We've got the Grand Prix tomorrow, got the New Zealand's next week. The week after that, the New Zealand stock cars. Week after that, World 240s. And then probably a couple of weeks from there is the Team Champs. So we are in the definitive part of the season, race fans. We've got plenty to get excited about here. All these meetings ahead of us. It's going to be full on action. Plenty. I'm ready. Kins and Books is ready. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I just want to get it on, man. Let's get it going.
Yeah, well, you go 12 months ago down there in Whanganui. Who would have thought Regan Ken was going to win that? So there you go. The door's open to anyone who ever qualifies in such a class that you can throw a blanket over many drivers to win a title these days. It just comes down to, who really wants
It's going to become, I think, Kins, it's going to become, with it being a 1 race final, it's going to be a very, very interesting race, because you're going to have the groups, the mates, the track codes, you know. That's going to be interesting, because if you're starting off the back of the grid, do you just become the pain, you know? And I mean, you don't have to wind people off and smash the shit out of them to decide. You've only got to slow people down, and so your car doesn't get hurt, and the smart ones will just slow the right ones down and then get the ones past, you know. So I think that makes it very interesting, the GP, I think, Amz, as well, Kins. It's that 1 race final. It'll all come down to the track the numbers of who's from where and what, eh?
Yeah. It all comes down to them having their little hooey in the track coming into their feature race and see who's going to look after who and get them home. Whether or not they will return their favour 1 week afterwards. When we get into Nelson, it's going to be another story, but that's another deal to talk with next week. And we've got something special. I'll be down in Nelson.
Kins will be live.
Wednesday. So I'll be live down and we're going to catch Wayne Russ and a few others. The 1, 2, and 3 NZ.
Hopefully.
I'll also try and hopefully.
I'm pretty sure we got 1 NZ, and I'm hoping 3 NZ will be locked in tomorrow. So
going to try and catch up with a couple of legends from out of Nelson as well. So quite a special show next Wednesday night I'll be down there, Nelson. Anyway, bro, we better wrap up your little segment. Otherwise, we'll be here talking picks and everything, and Brad will fall asleep because he's waiting for his barbecue. So anyway, Brad McGee, that is, I'm talking about. Anyway, wrap it up, bro. Your driver spotlight, I'm guessing.
Yes, one more to end the segment tonight, race fans, and that is the bump and run imagery driver spotlight for this week, for the Christmas period, I guess. But man, this sprint car driver here, he had a massive 48 hours the last couple of days, and it saw him go for a total of 6 races, and of those 6 races, he had done a total of 99 laps. Now, check this out. Of those 99 laps, he led 47 of those laps. He got 3 first placings, 1 fourth placing, 1 third placing, 1 second placing, and as a result, he is the South Island champion and the feature winner of round 3 of the War of the Wings Sprint Car Series winner, and that is Max Guilford. Your driver spotlight for this week brought to you by Bump and Run Imagery. Big thank you again to Mark Goodman for coming on board to support this initiative. That's me, race fans. I'm done and dusted for this week. I'll be back again next week. As I said, fam, plenty to get excited about. We are at a definitive part of the season where everything is full on from here on in. The Grand Prix tomorrow, New Zealand Superstock Championship next week, New Zealand Stock Cars the week after, the 240s. Plenty to get excited about. As I said, I'm excited. Books and Kins are excited. Are you excited?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, they're all back. There's some people making comments about Scotty Myers. I think young Scott Honeybone's getting a bit excited about Scott Myers entering the New Zealands, but to be fair, I don't think he's going to make the difference that Scott Honeybone thinks he's going to make. That's for sure. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see, but I just hope that he doesn't get hurt. So he's had that many broken backs, Scotty, and now he's going to a big championship like that. It worries me when that happens, like for people's safety, but good on him, having a go. He's got the tank up and running, and it'll be good to see another tank alongside Horse, my man Horse, because, that's who's going to be 1NZ this year.
But when you talk about the tank, I remember Jack Myers racing at Miani. We saw him on the practice night at Miani. That thing was flying. And then he was flying on that one big night where they had the whole race, but obviously a technicality thing to do with something. We couldn't get him back out there. But yeah, when he was behind the wheel of the 88P black tank, that thing was on fire. So bring it on. And already I see the countdown from the race's edge with all the number 10s that's featuring Peter Rees as part of the DC Equipment 2025 New Zealand Superstock Chaps next Friday, Saturday in Nelson. I'm excited, as you can tell. I haven't stopped smiling since commentating at Bay Park on Saturday night. I got to do a selfie with Gizzy as well, but it's all good, boys. Thanks, Sams. We'll catch up next Wednesday, bro.
Take care, boys.
Thanks, Sams, brother.
Right, yeah, there we go. That's Sam's done for his first show with us back here on Trackside with Kokpit, brought to you by GARAGE16, Kins and Booker every Wednesday, 7:30 to 8:30, 1 hour show. And last weekend, well, what a big weekend that was at Robertson Holden, Palmerston North, the Prestige Robertson Holden with the New Zealand Stock GP. Brad McGee's with us, been sitting there nice and patient. He can smell the barbecue cooking in the background. He's much thinking, man, I'm getting hungry. Brad, welcome to the show, mate.
Cheers, boys. Happy New Year, and to everyone watching as well.
Yeah, mate.
Are you hungry?
No, I'm all right. I'm good.
Hey, we talked about it with Ammz. He gave the Peter Rees stock car points update, and obviously Mr. Kaharo, who won the GP and the 1NZ car. But just go through the qualifying side of it. I don't know how many hundreds of stock cars were there, mate, but that was a feat within itself, just qualifying.
Yeah, I think there was 140 odd cars entered in the end, top 5 from each group. So that was hard. I think New Zealand stock cars is 220 odd, so that's going to be even harder. So I think the hardest part at that meeting will be making the final. If you can do that, you've had a good weekend.
Yeah,
yeah. With the stock car events like this nowadays, like racing the stock car and you go to these big events, your first mindset, I suppose, the only thing you're thinking about now is it just qualifying them, and that's the hardest part, is it, for stock cars now? It's not the qualifying to get to the NZs. I think it was probably easier to get to 1NZ once you've qualified than it is to get through to the qualifying.
Yeah, I think I had more success on the finals night on the weekend than I did in qualifying. Like I had a couple tangles ups in the first race of qualifying. I think I was third equal in my group. So I had a better run on the finals night, which should have been a harder night. And it was hard, but it was cleaner racing than some of the qualifying races can be sometimes.
So in your mindset, when you got 140 at the GP, then you got 200 plus at the NZs coming up for you down in Wellington. Uh, it's just full on race. Say will there be a lot of contact in qualifying? I would guess because your focus is really to crack top 5 most races to make sure you can secure yourself in the final the following night. I would guess.
Yeah, like the early first lap of the race, you just want to make it out of that first lap in one piece. All 4 tyres have air in them. Then your next sort of first half of the race, you got to push. Like that's when everyone's bunched up. If you can make some good gains there, even in the first lap, that's where most of your gains are. But you got to finish races, so you can't be too aggressive.
Yeah, fair enough. How's it been so far to the day prior to racing last weekend? And,
I got his stats here, mate, too, eh?
Yeah. So what's
I got Brad. He sent it through to me. What he'd actually this year. He's third at the Robin Pratt. Next year's a big one for the Robin Pratt too, Brad. So we're doing a big thing for that. So third at Stock Car Knockout, third to Minnow 2 Superstocks, first at Wellington Stock Car Champs. So he's won the Wellington Stock Car Champs, and then third at the GP at Palmy. So he's having a stellar start to his season. Yeah,
it's been good. Both of these cars pretty new. Like the stock car was new the night of the Robin Pratt. That was wicked just to have a good run in it that night. Hadn't had any seat time or anything. Another good battle with the Palmy boys, like the final on Saturday night. Manawa 2 Super is very similar. So I've had some good races with all those boys all year long, really. I think I've had with the GP 5 nights there this year. So it's getting pretty comfy there.
Yeah, you got a pretty full-on schedule though. When you think, you're jumping into 2 sets of 2 cars, mate. Geez, just about every weekend you're going to be out racing, give or take, unless weather turns up.
Yeah, so even Saturday night we had the Super there as well. Obviously, our next meeting is New Zealand Superstocks. Just needed seat time. I've done so much stock car racing in the last few meetings. I just needed to get back in that car and sort of get comfortable and make sure it's going to finish races.
What's the biggest difference for you when you jump out of the stock car into the Super? What do you have to adjust in yourself there?
The lines are different. Like you tend to enter a corner wider on corner entry in the super stock. And obviously the stock cars are going a little bit slower, so you can kind of actually be a bit more aggressive with the bumper. You be a bit aggressive in the super stock, you're going so fast, you just miss the corner and you go off the end with the person you've used the bumper on. So you've got to race a lot cleaner in the super stock. The stock cars, you can be a bit more pushy.
Okay, it's interesting, Akins.
That's what I like when we talk to Brad.
The super stocks.
Yeah.
It's probably why the super stocks look a lot cleaner.
Yeah, definitely. But this is what I enjoy when we catch up with Brad, whether it's on the show or in the pits at a track when we catch up with him. When you talk to this young man, what you get is what you get, and he just tells it how it is. I really enjoy it when he speaks from knowledge and everything like that. Books, it's bloody cool when he tells you how it is.
And the other thing too is a lot of people don't understand, like he said, maybe that's why the super stocks look like such a clean racing, because you like I said, you use that power to hit, and because you got that power, you keep going and traveling with it, so that sort of
Yeah.
Unless you're Asher, of course, and you just push 4 or 5 at once, and then it's
your 4 or 5 will slow you down a bit more than 1.
Yeah.
So obviously the next meeting for you, Brad, while you're here talking to us, you're in preparation to head off to Nelson, I would guess, next week.
Yep. So we're going down to Nelson. Sort of decided against Christchurch as it was looking to be pretty South Island dominant. It'd be a pretty hard meeting to go down there as a North Island car, like you were saying before, and come away with a podium there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. I think that's a realistic way to. I mean, it's some people think, oh, you've got to go and try, but sometimes you've also got to look at how much is it going to cost to get there, and then and if you've got the New Zealand's the following week, and damage, and like you say, if you're up on points and you're going to really go for it, those South Islanders might think, no, you're not, and then you got to fix your car all week to compete at the New Zealand's and make it 100%. So there's a lot of factors, I think, that go into it for these guys. We don't, as fans, we don't think about that. We just think, oh, get it, don't be soft, and and we don't think of all the other factors that come into it. I mean, that's probably a lot of your decision making towards that, was it, Brad?
Yeah. So, and also like I had the GP just gone. That's 2 nights. Then it would have been another 2 nights in Christchurch at the other end of the country. Then we'd be back to Wellington for 2 nights because obviously we've got the stock car as well. And then 240s the weekend after that. So it would have been 5 2-night championships in a row. That's, you know, you've only got a few days to turn around, fix the car, and travel somewhere else in the country. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, and the other part to it, a lot of these drivers that people got to realize that cost factor too. You know, with accommodation, the boat is such everything that gets involved there, and if it rains and your meeting gets canned, you know, you're not going to get all your money back from your accommodation. You're going to lose a fair bit of that, so it is tough. And yeah, we do feel for the drivers,
Yeah.
especially those who are heading down, who are already there. I would guess, to be honest with you, for tomorrow night. Good luck to you all down if you're watching the show as well, and I know there's a few up there in Auckland and Waikaraka Park tonight watching live on their phones, and we appreciate you watching the show as well. So all the best for tomorrow. As Brad said, he's heading to Nelson. And the Superstock, what's after Nelson? You got the 240s, I would guess. And have you put your name up for the
240s.
Wildcats, mate?
I don't think that's going to be happening. Teams
Okay.
racing's a bit hard for us. Like you say, the budget thing, it's not really on the table at all times. Like it's a bit hard. Like you got 3 big meetings in a row. This piece of string's only so long.
Yeah. I know.
You can't really stretch it too far.
Will you take your race car because they go well in Gisborne? Books was down there a little while back there watching the race, and mate, they fly around Gisborne.
Oh,
with
the North
bank.
Islands.
Are you going to go and have a go at the North Islands?
Yeah, we'll have a crack at the North Islands.
Nice.
So I don't know what February looks like for us, obviously, with those teams meetings. We may teams race the stock car. That might happen. And then, yeah, North Islands. And then is it March, the Rees Tour? I think we're going ahead with that. So that'll be an awesome trip with everyone. Just
Oh, we're going to have a
to those
ball,
tracks
Bradders. We are going to have an absolute ball, mate. That Rees Tour.
Yeah, that one will be wicked.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a couple big months this year with that. And obviously the start of that month's the North Island. So it'd actually be nice to have a bit of a break in February.
Yeah. Yeah, hard out. Totally agree, 100%. What do we got here with everyone watching all the good points? Mike Harvey, mate, how are you, Mike?
Just while Kinser's looking at the comments for people that brought up that Rees Tour quickly, Brad, but we're going to be raising money for cystic fibrosis on the Rees Tour, so everyone knows. We're going to have some Rees cutouts with the Rees Tour 2025 in the Rees cutout car, and we're going to get all the drivers to sign it, and we're going to auction 2 of those off at every track to raise money for cystic fibrosis. So, keep an eye on that in the Rees Tour. We're going to do that as well. That's the charity that myself and Kinser are supporting this time around, is because it affects so many kids, and again, the government don't help a lot with it. So we're always doing a charity that is all about the kids. So this year, and of course, there's a few drivers out there with kids that actually suffer from this. So we're going to get them to come and talk to us as well. So that's just sort of let people know. I just sort of you said that, I sort of thought I'd forgotten about to mention that at the beginning of the show. So just interrupt that now and put that up. So yeah, cystic fibrosis. Have a look at it, Google it, and just see what it affects and how it does. It affects so many kids in our country, and they're not looked after by the government. So we can do our part, myself and Kins with Kokpit, and raise some money like we did for Heart Kids last year, then that's what we'll do.
Exactly. Hey, GARAGE16 on board with the show. Aaron Lewis is watching, and he says to Brad, "Go, Brad, you can do it." Lacey's up the dub. Caleb Ashton, how are you, Caleb? Jackie Miller, happy New Year. Ian Wilson, I see his young fella was down your way at Miani and this little TQ going hard out. So, Ian, to you and the family. Hope the raffle's all going good, mate. Nana Gale, happy New Year's to you, Nana Gale. 175p on the Hex list from the GP, Lacey, Deacon, and many others watching as well. We'll just keep going on through. I know there was a message I got during the week as well from the girls on stock car thing. I'll share that in a few minutes. Obviously, yeah, have a barbecue not too far away, mate. Sorry to hold you up from your barbecue, but you get to have a kai soon. Pretty well chill out for the rest of the week, I would guess, and get prepared for Nelson, eh?
Yeah. Sort of round up some parts, sort some things out. Be getting both the cars ready. I think obviously no racing this weekend, so it sort of gives me a bit of break. I'll get both cars prepped, sort of ready to go for both New Zealand titles, and hopefully we have some luck at those two. Even just to qualify would be cool. So
Yeah.
foremost, have fun. Have fun
Yeah.
first.
Oh, 100%, mate, 100%. And obviously the other biggie for in your stockies is Wellington. And I don't know where you're going to fit 220 cars, mate. That is going to be a huge meeting, especially being so close to the South Island. You're going to get a lot of Southerners coming across the Cook Strait, mate. It's going to be massive.
Yeah, that's going to be a massive one. The club's been obviously working on this for a long time. It's a lot of work by everyone there. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be cool to do it with a bunch of people watching from home. So that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
And the other thing too, Kins, I think I might mention is that Brad also is involved and does apparel. So they do shirts and printed shirts and team shirts. They're doing the Renee Hillier shirts at the moment, and people need to go and check that Brad's out. It's Elite Print and Apparel Limited on Facebook. Just search up Elite Print and Apparel on Facebook, and you'll find their page. And they do some awesome stuff. He did some shirts if any of you watched our prize giving last year at our headquarters in Waipawa for our online stuff. Brad had donated the shirts that we printed up for the guys for the winning shirts. So check out Elite Print and Apparel Limited with them as well. They do a lot of Speedway merch, and if you want someone to get your Speedway merch, talk to these guys, because they're more than happy to help, Brad?
Yeah. Sammy sort of runs behind the scenes of that. He does an awesome job of it. He does do a bit of design work in that as well. So, and he can help, obviously, sorting all of that side of things, and even with shipping and whatever, he can sort these out.
Wicked.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's bloody neat, eh? I know that shit, bro. That's a cool shirt too. I still got one.
Yeah. I think all the boys enjoyed those. They were cool. They came out.
They
good.
were cool. Cool.
Yeah, I've got some. We might use them for the shirt I've just designed for people to buy for the anti-bullying shirts. So I'll send Brad that through later, and he can look at that.
Have a bit of a look see. I'll just quickly. There we go. Let's do this. That's what
there it
I'm
is.
looking at. You don't want to look at.
I'll quick minimize your chat.
Yeah,
there it is. Elite Print and Apparel. Go check it out, people. Go support another, they'd support the Speedway guys of shirts, so support them. Get your stuff done. You can do one-offs with them too, can't you, Brad? If you want a one-off shirt done, you can get it done.
Yeah, he can do one-offs. Like you say, he'll try to find the best to suit what you're after, make the budget work, and even the different types of your clothing, and just make it work for you. So that's the best thing about it. And it is Speedway. It's supporting other people in Speedway. It's not outsourced. It's him, and they're doing the work with it. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Brilliant, mate. Brilliant. All right, where is this little message I had to read out from Aria Berg? It's hello, team. This page that used to be, from the Gills Across the Grid. It used to be known as Gills on the Pole. Not in that way, but on the pole of the Speedway track. What they're doing is a raffle to donate funds to get 7 South Island girls coming up to the Ladies' Crown, which is always massive, because we know all about the Ladies' Crown racing.
Well, yeah, I was thinking before Kinser Ladies' Crown, I was thinking Brad could probably bring a stock car up to 240s, and maybe you could do the Ladies' Crown, bro.
Yeah, I could do, I'll wear a wig. Bloody... I'll wear a ladies' wig in there.
You two are about the same height. You should fit straight in there.
Yeah, I think you'll fit in there good.
Yeah, I'll do the bloody. I'll give it a go. Like it's showing up by those ladies. But I know there's someone who's listening to this right now and bloody will barrel me up, and that's one Lala Ashton. He'll be listening and says, "Mate, are you going to do this thing or not?" Anyway, 7 South Island girls coming up for the Ladies' Crown. It's all about promoting the wonderful raffle at the moment. So go to their Facebook page. You have a basket valued at $300, and it's just raising funds. So go along and help the ladies there. That's across the grid. The basket of raffle, and that is from Aria Berg. So Aria, there you go. Bit of a shout out there on the show, and let's hope that you get out there and support them. And that Aotearoa Ladies' Crown race during 240s is sponsored by Rees from memory, Rees Race Cars.
Yep.
And it's a massive one, and they've got limited numbers on that as well. And as I recall catching up with Sam Ashton, he was saying there was more ladies trying to get into it, but there's got to be a cut on the
Oh,
numbers. And
there's a huge list, Kins, a huge waiting list for the ladies' crown, which is incredible. Just shows how many women are in our sport now as well, which is awesome. But I mean, the biggest event of the 240s that everyone needs to watch is basically the third tier superstocks. I think that's the only one to watch. I mean, that's brought to you by Kokpit Media, so you know it's that's the only tier that matters. It's Kokpit Media third tier supers. It right? Don't worry about the winner of the 240s. You on the third tier winner, mate? Hey.
Hard out. And we'll hand over the trophy and have a lovely photo with you too.
Yeah. We'll give them a bottle of bourbon or something too, eh?
Yeah, we'll do something fun.
Everyone who won't qualify just to get in the third tiers, they get a bottle of bourbon.
Brad, well, hey, Brad, thank you for taking your time out. I know you've been a busy man, and it's only going to get busier for you. Look forward to enjoying that little break next month in February, and good luck, safe travels across the strait. No doubt you've done it many times, but I'd love to catch up with you down in Nelson next week, and yeah, all the best. Good luck in the superstock and your stock car too, bro.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Hopefully I'll see you guys at these meetings anyway, so I'll see you around, and yeah, it'll be fun either way. I'm looking forward to all of those meetings, especially 240s.
Just a quick question before we do let you go, Brad. I just had a thought in the back of my head. Sorry. You said you may still race a stock car for teams. Will that be with Gizzy again, or?
Yeah, potentially. So we're just sort of trying to work that out at the moment, see what it looks like. I haven't made a decision yet, but it was actually, that was an enjoyable meeting. All those guys were awesome to deal with, and it was good to get out there in my own car and do some teams racing, because that's the first time I've actually teams raced in my own car.
Oh, awesome.
So that was cool. Yeah. And we sort of hosted all the boys on their way down at home. So that was quite cool, because I'm actually not in Wellington anymore. So it was an awesome weekend. Will Carr and all those boys were awesome.
Awesome, man. Yeah.
Good on you. That's what we love about our sport. You know, we all support each other, look after each other, and dare I say, Booker and I, you know, we'll always be advocates to push and stop that kind of bullying side of things, and seems to be getting out of bloody hand. And it's only the first of day of January 2025. So there's a bit of a drive that we'll be doing throughout this around all of that as well. Brad, mate, we'll let you go and enjoy your barbecue. Sorry to hold you up. Take care, bro. We'll see you trackside soon.
Thanks, brothers.
Cheers.
See you, mate.
See you there. Awesome. Brad McGee. Check out his Facebook
page. He's got a full-on bloody thing coming up season, he? Like, with 2 cars and all those meetings he's doing, shit, he's going to be bloody flat out.
Yeah, hard out. He's going to be flat out. Levi, Cody, Ricky and the family. Thanks for the Happy New Year's earlier on as well. And Mike Harvey, mate, phone issues, but watching. One guy.
Yeah, I think I saw Samantha's phone's died or something. But you can put it on the YouTube on your TV, Mike. You just go to YouTube if you've got a smart TV, YouTube. You can see us on there. A few people watch us on the YouTube now.
Yeah, it's good, eh? Sit in the lounge and watch. And hey, just before we do wrap it up, this is our first show. We've got many more coming up. Obviously, we'll do a special ahead of the Superstock Champs down there in Nelson. But if you go into Ocean View this weekend for the mini sprints, good luck, have fun. If you head into Palmy this weekend in a couple of days for the North Island Super Saloons, again, good luck and have fun there. If you're racing tomorrow night at the One Nighter now at Woodford Glen and the GP, all the best. But if you're heading anywhere near Speedway this upcoming weekend, just a reminder, please be safe on the road. The road toll wasn't the prettiest at the moment out there, and just be safe and lead the racing to those guys on the tracks. But otherwise, thanks and welcome back to 2025.
Yep, and just our thoughts as well, and prayers to the family of the police officer that was just brutally just a senseless act. Absolute senseless act. And, you know, she was, what do you say, Kins, how many years in the force?
Yeah, 38 years.
38 years in the force to be killed by an absolute idiot, senseless act. So our thoughts are with the family and the police force for that. And I hope the rest of your year goes better for the police. There's not so many idiots on the roads. And yeah, but thanks for joining us tonight, people. We appreciate it. And everybody needs to just be safe out there. Be safe and look after each other and have fun. Keep smiling for 2025, Aikens.
Yeah, and just to wrap it up too, good luck to all of those. Celebrate well at Miami this weekend. It's a massive weekend. I think on Friday night, the 60th anniversary. So yeah, go and check it. I'm not too sure my mate's going to be there. Are you going to go, Books? You going to head out?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll be going yet. I may do. I'll have to talk to my new Speedway racer, Maru, and see what he's up to. Hey.
You know what's going to come next, eh? You know what's going to come next if you go out. Is he doing any lives? Oh, I don't know. just keep an eye on the Kokpit Racing and Media Facebook page. Hey, once again, a big shout out to our friends at Bay Park, to Melissa and Marco. We appreciate how you looked after us and our friends and our family on Saturday at Bay Park, and wish you all the best. And yeah, that was a buzz. And enjoy yourself for the rest of the day. For me, I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my night.
Yeah. Same here. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy, be safe, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Thank you.
Ta-ra.
Holy snapping duck shit.
My good mate from Bump and Run Booker joins us.
I'm excited for another great show tonight. Give it the hoot now.